What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're interacting to the 8th episode of Super Cub. This one's titled She's Place. Okay, I guess we're going to be going to her house. Like, we've seen Kogma's home, obviously. Very small, minimalist, not a lot of things to really spend money on, so just the essentials for the most part. Quite grey as well, just because that's what her life had been like until she had the cub and she started to find the joy in the world and seeing the colour change and all that good stuff that the show's been showing. We then showed Reiko's place. Very much fits her character. Kind of out off the beaten path a little bit, like a log cabin sort of deal, which is kind of cool in its own way. Has her little garage coming in, so she can work on the bike in her home. It's like very much fits her character. So now we're going to see what her home is like, I guess. See what she's like. She. I'll stop. But yeah, we ultimately end up meeting her because it's her idea and she's kind of the head of handling the class's cultural festival plans, and we are running a Italian-themed bar, essentially, so serving like cappuccinos and things like that. And their plans are going well. We're just not going to get involved. It's like, it's not for us. They're off to go lunch. But it turns out that the teacher can't actually drive the equipment from the other school that we were doing the courier service for a couple of episodes ago. Teacher can't go get the equipment from there, and they don't really have a backup option. And it's like, well, we have some people who ride bikes at the school. Could they maybe do it? And everyone was like, no, bikes can't handle fragile equipment like that. And so Reiko and Koguma were like, oh, hang on, a cub can do anything. We'll show them. And they kind of got drawn into it that way. We have this kind of interesting piece of equipment that is designed for fragile cargo. Because obviously one of the points of having like a trailer, as we saw with the trailer, ended up getting hooked to Reiko's cub, since she has the hunt cub, much more power, and can pull things a bit better. It's fine for just the heavy items, because it's like, well, you've got so much weight there that it's just it'll bump up and down, it won't be too big of a deal. But if you've got like very fragile items, like, I don't know, cups for example, and you go over a bump, they're just going to start smashing in there. So you need something that can really balance the forces, and they seem to have an equipment like that. I have no idea what that piece of equipment is called, but it's specifically designed to take the impacts and the bumps of the road and just mitigate them so that the cargo itself is very stable. And it's a very, very cool piece of kit, actually. Actually quite well animated as well when they were going over bumps and showed it working a couple of times. It was quite nice to see. And so, going to pick up the stuff, we managed to bring it all back in time. No need for the backup plan, which was like Wild West Saloon, I think, was the backup plan we suggested. And the bar's a good success, and everything's going well, and we've kind of made a new friend who would like to ride a cub one day, but currently doesn't, and rides a pedal bike. But she's quite clumsy, so she's like, well, maybe a cub is a bit too early for me. We see a bit of her clumsiness because I think she trips as she's leaving us as our final shot of the show, so it's kind of interesting that they really doubled down on that, poor girl. But I guess she's going to be slowly drawn into our friendship group, and we'll see where that ends up going. So, yeah, I love this show. It's chill, but it's also meaningful in its own way. Like, it does make you feel things, and that's something that I want anime to do. I want anime to make me feel things that I wouldn't necessarily expect. Like, this show, I knew this was going to be a comfy show. I love my comfy shows, like Eurocamp and such. I feel like every season needs at least one comfy show in it, just to relax and just to appreciate things, because not everything needs to be high-octane action or drama or anything like this. We all just need a time just to sit back, relax, and just chill. And this show does that very, very well, whilst also getting me very invested in the characters and what they're going through. Whilst I don't drive, like I've said, or have a bike or anything like this, I can still relate to them in other facets of my life. And to an extent, I can kind of see that with me and my new VR setup. If you haven't noticed, over my shoulder, just there, you can see my VR just sitting there. Yeah, I bought that off my friend Ollie, and I've been enjoying it very much so after the past almost week now, actually. It's getting close. And like getting that, I can feel some of the things that we're getting here, and it's making me want to improve on things like what can I say? Like my current graphics card, it's RTX 2060, does pretty damn well for pretty much everything I ask of it. VR though, you're pushing it a little bit if you want to maintain high frame rate at the high qualities as well. So I'm thinking maybe I should invest in the next graphics card, but should I just wait for the 4000 RTX series or whatever AMD comes up with, because I do have an AMD processor? It would make sense to maybe use an AMD graphics card if they have their integration again like they did this generation. And so, like, I'm thinking about upgrades and ways I can improve it. I'm thinking, okay, since mine is a wired headset, because it's the Valve Index, maybe I should look into maybe getting a bracket in the ceiling, and therefore the wires go up to the ceiling, and I don't have to worry about them trailing behind me or getting pulled or anything like that. They can just be up in the ceiling, and it's no longer a problem. And things like that. I'm just wondering, like, how can I improve it? And that's what they're doing with their cubs and how they're living their lives. It's very nice to see. So, anyway, we're going to load the episode up here because I don't want to speak too much about this so far. I spent way too much time on Full Dive that I really didn't need to. So, as per usual, these are time-based format reactions here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture-in-picture, go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture-in-picture reactions I do on the channel. So that's everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as Sympho Gear G, which we'll be following straight after this. We also have movie reactions with Kiki's Delivery Service just going out recently for this month's movie. First week of June, we'll be doing another poll to what movie we watch then. We also have a special movie in Princess Principal, Crown Handler, I believe is the name of it. Yes. We'll be doing that on Saturday the 5th, regardless of what movie gets voted on. I've been looking forward to Princess Principal for a while now, and I actually have access to a version now that we can actually watch, so we're going to be watching that on the 5th. As well as this Saturday, if you're watching this as this comes out, we'll be doing the Kaguya-sama OVA, since that also came out. A lot of OVAs and movies and stuff coming out in recent times that I really want to watch, so we're going to watch them. But yeah, here on YouTube we do time-based, so bottom left of the screen you'll see a time of the episode. I count down 3 to 1 play, then play site episode, I site episode, and we should be in sync. We'll watch this one on Funimation as per usual, since they're the ones who licensed it. We have the Katakawa logo and then the Funimation logo to start, so about 10 seconds logos give or take. Call them out as they go past, but you can also use screen flash on my face, the mic, or this part of my headset to tell when scenes are transitioning. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Katakawa. Funimation. Cheers. Here we go. Winter's coming, right? Yep, it's getting damn cold. Get some winter prep going. Yeah. And she's just watching. Don't trip. Okay, good. I was about to say. Oh, our shop? Your family runs a shop, I'm guessing? I guess Dad runs a shop. And this is how we go to our place. All right. OP time, I'm guessing. Yeah. Maybe that's why she got the idea of doing like an Italian themed thing. Maybe their shop is an Italian themed coffee place. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not a coffee person. I've had coffee, but it doesn't do it for me. I'm not too much of a hot drinks person in general. Like, obviously, I like tea. I mean, I'm British. How could I not drink tea, right? But it's not something I go out of my way to have. Hot chocolates I'll have for, like, I did my hot chocolate every day for Eurocamp last time out. I did consider doing it for this, but it's getting a bit too warm now, even at nights now. But honestly, nighttime, perfect temperature right now. I love this temperature. The day is a very odd temperature. Like when you go outside in the day where it's like it's too cold for just a shirt, but it's also too warm to put on a hoodie. I hate that temperature. Alright, here we go. Alex Moulton, okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, you can see the British flag right there. uh, yep. Makes you kind of feel a little bad, doesn't it? Just going through all that work and you're just sitting there. Yeah. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Why butter? Okay. just, just casual, yeah. Just Europe. just take everything of Europe. Oh, it looks good though. It looks good though. Oh, it must smell nice as well. Now it's a American diner. So we got European bakery with a European bakery and coffee shop, and then an American diner. yeah, worldwide at this point. oh, meet the parents. Mm-hmm. That's the correct answer. Mm-hmm. Hawaiian Con, okay. Okay. Oh, the color shift every time. You love it. Cub's right there. Love it. Cafe racer. Okay. Sandwiches. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, don't stop saying paninis. God, I saw paninis in my shop, and I was so tempted to buy them. Oh, I'm sure we will. Hmm. Mhm. Hmm. Hmm. Racing World. And she's gone. And she's looking up guns, of course. You're terrible. Nice. Yeah. And 1200 yen's not terrible. I think she gave the ball, didn't she? Yeah. uh, uh, hmm. What gloves are those? Hmm. Oh, covers. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. uh, okay. See how they look and see how they function. That looks too bad, actually. Hmm. Not too bad at all. Take it out for a test drive. Colors again. Just love how the show loves to use that color. Let's go show off. Hmm. Pretty good, aren't they? At least try and find a design you like, I suppose. That's the best way to do it. I was just going to get the same ones or like things. Yep. Maybe not exactly the same, but more or less. Hmm. Back to the cafe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a start. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Landblot, okay. Never heard of it. Interesting. Why are you so concerned? Right. Right, yeah, it feels like there's another reason. What could that possibly be? Someone arriving in a pickup truck, okay. Who the hell's it gonna be? It's quite ominous. Is it the is it the mother? Is it the mother? Yep. So embarrassed. uh, they compromise on Britain. Okay. Yep. What an interesting family situation. Hmm. Oh, we will. Got a little routine going now. Gotta love it. Mm-hmm. Still got some more winter prep to do. That's the problem with drinking out a lot. But it is different when you go out for a drink and then make it yourself. Hmm. This is where you go. Hmm. Good episode. Very, very good episode. Interesting family situation with their shop as well. So they have what? America, Britain, Germany, Italy. They're all over the place. And then the French name as well. Just need a bit of Spanish influence there, and you're starting to get pretty much most of Europe. Obviously not. There's a lot, but still. The bigger ones of Europe anyway. Interesting, they serve nothing Japanese. That's a rarity. Not even a hint. Next time. In ice. Okay. Guess we're going to actually be getting to the winter portion. I wonder, does a Cub necessarily need to get specialized tires for the winter? They're driving on ice a lot. I wonder about the Cub's tires. I do wonder about that. It'd be quite the investment, though, for winter tires, but I would have assumed that the Cubs tires would probably be pretty all-purpose. It's not like you have super high speeds to contend with, so the tires should be able to get enough grip on ice. There. Yeah, maybe not. It's quite hard to get any grip on ice, so I'm sure they do perfectly fine for wet weather, but for ice, I don't know so much. Maybe they'll go into that a little more next time. They're doing more winter prep anyway. Just prep for the Cubs, but also for themselves and keeping warm. And those handlebar covers look pretty good for that. So that's a good first step. Probably want to get, well, in Koguma's case, I think she's probably going to be thinking of investing in possibly a full face helmet at long last, because your face is going to get freezing cold if you're not careful. Maybe just something, a face covering of some sort to go about that, because you probably get something real cheap to cover your face in that instance, like a bandana or something. But yeah, God, I love this show. The use of color on it is fantastic, as I said. Every time Koguma experiences something new and just exciting, the whole world, the color fills the entire world. It's just perfect in that sense. But yeah. Yeah, I just love it. And Shi-Chan is a great addition to this cast as well. We've got a little routine going. It is a shape, here's the thing. Going out to get a drink like that is it is always more expensive to go out to eat than it is to obviously eat yourself and have something equivalent. Obviously, you're paying for the experience of doing it somewhere and having someone make it for you and do it in their own special way, because the way, like they mentioned, the way someone makes coffee is different from person to person, depending on how strong they make it, how much milk or cream or whatever they put in it, sugars and stuff like that. There's different little choices that do make it feel different. And I used to frequent a cafe where I actually worked during my school years. I would have a little Saturday job where I get, I think it was £30 a day for that Saturday. So I was getting 30 quid a week just to work there for a few hours. I say a few hours, I think it was close to 5 or 6, depending on how busy we were that day. If it was raining particularly hard, they'd be like, okay, you can get off early, not many people coming in during the rain. But like I would frequent that place a lot before I even worked there, and it's like I would always have like I think it was always a cup of tea, and then what did I normally have there? What would I normally get? I think it was oh when I was a kid. Because that place had been there for years. Unfortunately, it's no longer there. It was like about a year or two. I think it was like 2 years after I left there working. I think that's when they had to close down. The owner was very old and was like keeping up with it, but I think they realized probably time to retire, and they kind of just they sold up shop instead of trying to keep it going. But I've been there since I was a kid, like 8 maybe, if that. So I'd known them essentially for 10 years now. I think it was always like a bowl of chips. Like it was not a big bowl of chips. It was, and the price obviously kept going up as times went on. But just the bowl of chips was always my go-to. And then when I worked there, it was always I think it was either sausage or bacon sarnies. Gotta love them. Um, but it just became like a routine thing to have. And obviously, when you're working there, you get the meal free, so it was like always a tradition to have that. And then when I was doing football, when I was doing my 5-a-side football for the most. It was like I forgot what days we actually did it, but it was like every night on that night. Once we were done with football, it'd be like, all right, go down to the local grill and get. I would always have chips, but with burger sauce on them. I don't know why, but the burger sauce they had with their chips was just brilliant. I don't know why. Like I've never had burger sauce on a burger. I just haven't. But their burger sauce on chips was just brilliant, and sometimes they would. Because I've got to know them a lot more, I would occasionally get some like doner meat on there as well as like doner meat chips, burger sauce. It was like, it was a heart attack in a box, but it's so good. Like it really was. And then occasionally I'd have a burger from there, like a quarter pounder with cheese. It's just like, so much good food. I need to stop talking about food because I'm going to make myself really, really hungry again. I did eat like a couple of hours ago, but man, I'm getting hungry again already. I need to stop talking about food. Anyway, love this show. I love the idea of like having the frequent places you visit and people you get to know because of it, which is, like I said, so relatable, even if you don't necessarily drive a Cub. So I love this show for that, and it's such a good vibe. I love it so much. I think one of the more underrated shows of the season that probably goes overlooked because it is the type of show that it is, and it doesn't necessarily appeal to an audience, like a huge audience, but it's just perfect at what it does. Absolutely perfect. So anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments for the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Spring 2021 live. You can find it on the channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time. See you guys later.